But then right now, another big question is LeBron James and the LA Lakers. Because at the moment, the Lakers are still struggling to make the play-in, right? LeBron looks like he has an injury. Alam mo, when you take a look at the season of the Lakers, has been so up and down. Are we at the point already wherein, okay, do we rest LeBron, save him, and then see where the team goes without him? Or do we kind of like try and push and force things?
Honestly, I think they could afford to sit LeBron out for the remainder of the regular season at least because they got a lot of assets during the trade deadline, and I think some of those guys are playing really well. They've got guys who can defend, guys who can score, so I think they can afford. But again, good point you mentioned, Pao, because they're trying to make it to the play-in or at least in the top 8 if it's still possible. But obviously, the King can do wonders if they want to make a push.
Well, napaka-feasible naman in terms of the playoff hopes for the LA Lakers, considering that the losses between, I think, the 6th seed and going all the way to the play-in are just too small. So we're going to try Coach Charles again, who is trying his best to make it back to the show. Coach Charles, we're now moving on to the Lakers here. Are the Lakers cooked? Because LeBron James, we don't know whether or not he'll be healthy in terms of the stretch run here. And they need the wins quickly because they could even lose out a spot in the play-in.
Well, the lucky thing for them is that their opponents have been losing, really. So, in a way, they're catching a break. But, I definitely don't think LeBron should be sitting out the rest of the season. He said it himself, his one and only goal. This might be the biggest last end of the regular season in his career. So, you obviously expect him to show out and hopefully get back healthy. I think it's worth making the playoff push. They probably feel if they're complete, they can beat any team in the playoffs. So they just need to find a way to get there. Obviously, it's not looking good. They've had chemistry issues. But with their new core, they're actually looking like a decent potential playoff team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay, we move forward to the next topic at hand. Russell Westbrook got out of the Lakers, but still in LA, this time with the Clippers. Do you think it's the right move for the Clips to sign Brody here at the latter part of the season?
Lost 3 straight since Westbrook's debut, by the way, talking about the Clips.
Oh, it's tough. Obviously, I think the playoff would be the real gauge, but I think he's a good piece to have, man. I mean, I know there are a lot of Westbrook haters, but the one thing he has with the Clippers is that he has a great relationship with Paul George. And in the NBA or any basketball team, it's really all about chemistry and being solid with your team. So if he gets along with his teammates, that's a big plus. I was looking at their lineup, and they've got pieces. I know Covington's still been out pretty much, but they've got a deep lineup right now with Westbrook, George, and Kawhi. Obviously, Morris is there, Zubac is there. They just added Eric Gordon. They have Plumlee off the bench. I mean, they're deep, man. They got some pretty good weapons that I think would be a problem for teams in come playoff time.
Russell Westbrook, the Utah Jazz legend, my goodness, good luck with the Clippers. You take a look right now at a team that we're probably not talking enough about. Talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, already 15 straight undefeated for February. A lot of people probably don't have them on the radar because they're not as flashy, but then shout out to Tin Gamboa. You take a look at this team. What do you see? Are they a title contender or should they be title favorites based on how they're playing as of late?
I think they are contenders. I wouldn't say favorites just yet, just because the Celtics are also really, really good. They're playing at the high level. And then obviously you have the Sixers who could make a run and really compete with them. I think the Nets trading away all their guys kind of took out one team. So to me, it's basically those 3 teams out in the East that will make it to the finals. And it's just because the Suns now are a viable opponent in the West. I mean, if they didn't add Kevin Durant, I would have said, nah, this is the East's championship. Whoever comes out in the East would win. But, the Suns adding KD changes things a little bit because I think they might be able to come out top in the West. But yeah, the Bucks are playing at a high level. And I don't think they've even been healthy. I mean, Middleton's been battling injuries all season long. But their depth is really good. I mean, Portis is playing great. Double-double off the bench. Ingles has been a solid piece. I know he's a Jazz guy, so you probably like him. Carter's been solid off the bench too as a guard. So they've got a lot of pieces right now. They just added Jay Crowder too. So they're deep, they're versatile, and I think they're maybe slightly the favorites right now. But I just can't count out the Celtics and the Sixers right now.
Well, you misspoke about Jay Crowder because he's former Jazz player Jay Crowder as well.
Okay, that's true. That's
Charles,
true.
Really appreciate the time. Hopefully, we can have you in the studio next time. Really appreciate it. Thank
Thank you. Sorry about the connection issues, but I'll
No
be
worries.
there next time. Thank you.